Hi guys, what's going on? Today we're going to talk about a little bit more of a serious topic.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go. Are you filming?
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm gonna go take photos of the boat, go to some tackle shops. Okay? I'll be probably about an hour and a half.
Okay, cool. I should be done by then.
No.
Can I just tell you something?
No.
You need some facial scrub. This is an exclusive. This is highly valuable footage.
Have you seen my green hat?
No, I haven't. Even when I plan it to be serious, it ends up being like this. Welcome to my life. Okay, where were we? I know some of you guys are used to me being like really like, but you know, life, you got a lot of different colors, you got a lot of different moods, and every now and then there's a time for some real talk. And for those of you who have actually met in person, you can see that when we start talking about life, when we start talking about goals, when we start talking about some of that other stuff, it is pretty serious. I take those topics by the balls. I approach my goals seriously. I approach my respect for people very seriously. I approach people's respect for me very seriously. That's why in my general space, I have created a space that I'm quite happy with. Today I'm going to be answering one of the most popular questions that I get asked to this day. Why did I leave Emirates? I get asked this from all different tones. Some people even say, I feel like you made the wrong decision. I can appreciate the point of view from which a lot of people come, especially for those who feel frustrated that I might have left the career of my life. This might not be the most expected answer, because I think a lot of people expect me to say that I quit because I got sick of it, I was too fatigued, I was feeling down, you know, things like that. But truly, it wasn't that at all. To be completely honest, I enjoyed the job. Yes, definitely there were things that were challenging to me. To me, the most challenging thing was fatigue. It truly was. It means that I was tired quite a lot and I was never getting enough sleep to catch up from the sleep that I missed out on. That's just a tiny layer of why I left. There was nothing so negative about the job to me. It's a company at the end of the day. So companies have their own rules, their own regulations, their standards. Right now, as a person who still travels, they're still one of my most trusted companies that I'd love to fly with. I enjoy the flight. I know what goes on behind the scenes. There's definitely a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of dedication that people put into creating that brand to make sure that it's a seamless airline. There's so much dedication that goes into it. Let's say when someone wants a job in this industry, they work really hard to get it. I was the same. Even though I had left Emirates, it's a company that I trust, that I appreciate. A lot of the experiences that I have in life came from being in that environment. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about other people, other cultures. I learned about how to grow in an environment where a lot of people couldn't see where the growth actually was. So here's the flat out answer to why I left Emirates. I left because it was time for me to go. That's pretty much it. That is the straight up answer. I believe that in life, growth is one of the most important things. I believe that in life, we can be presented with so many opportunities. Once we tune into those opportunities, you start to see that life isn't one-dimensional or two-dimensional. Sometimes it's not even just three-dimensional. It's completely multifaceted. I really truly believe like the world is really your oyster. For that reason, I left. I left because for me, when I think back to the reason I joined the company to begin with, my reasons were to travel the world, to go to Italy. I wanted to go to Italy. I wanted to go to Italy so bad. I wanted to go to Europe. I wanted to go to South America. I wanted to go to places that were very far away from Australia. My main purpose of working there was to travel. And you know, I got way more than I bargained for. It gave me a nice bump financially because if you go through my other video, it's called Cabin Crew Perks and Pay, you get to find out what the pay structure is and what sort of position that puts you in if you use it wisely or if you have a plan for it. From my end, I never ambitioned to be a senior flight stewardess. That's what it used to be called. Now I think it's called a cabin manager. When I first joined, as a matter of fact, I did tell my batchmates, I said, I'm never going to upgrade to business. I don't want to. I like economy. I like that it's down to earth. I love that I know the job back to front. And then I guess it was in my 4th year, which I did not foresee coming. I said, oh, I should probably upgrade to business. Most people want to have gotten their first promotion after like a year and a half. But for me, no, not at all. I was delaying that as much as possible, not because I'm lazy, but when I'm doing something and I enjoy it, if it ain't broke, you know what I mean? So I stayed in economy, and then I did 1 year business class, and then I started thinking about leaving already, because by that time I wanted to start a different career. Innately, I am a creative person, and while I was doing photography sort of on the side as a hobby and doing projects, and I was DJing, I was just trying to find creative outlets. I had a blog before blogs were even, you know, a thing. I didn't even know that anyone cared for blogs back then, but I did it because I like to write. I took up photography, and I taught myself photography because I like pictures. I took up music because a lot of my friends are in the music industry, and I looked at their lives and I was like, wow, you guys are living a life where you get to do exactly what you love, and you create and you create and you create, and you get paid for it. To me, that was a dream. So yes, travel was a dream. But to use something that I love and something that's so innate and something which I wanted to grow, which was my creativity, being a flight attendant, I could only look up to those who got to live that kind of life, who were able to hone in on their creativity and make that their bread and butter. Whereas here I was in quite a comfortable position, but I would just do my creative things on the side. And eventually I grew out of that. I wanted to start looking at the possibility of making that my life. I had no idea how I was going to approach it. Well, actually, no. I did have an idea of how I was going to approach it. And funnily enough, when I took that approach, that was like the most unfitting approach ever. What I was going to do when I quit Emirates, I said I'm going to apply for different jobs, and then one of the jobs will take me. I'm going to be a marketing manager for this amazing company, and I'm going to work with a team, and it just didn't work out that way. Yes, I left Emirates, and I didn't automatically replace it with an amazing job. My path presented itself to me in a way that it almost felt like I was set up to fail. Everything that I wanted had no map. There was no map to get there. Here's your destination, and this is you. And there was absolutely no map to get to where I wanted to be. I want to make it clear, it wasn't because of that job that I felt a little bit like something was missing. It wasn't because of that job per se. It was more about the fact that I was doing something on a regular basis, which was like on the side kind of feeding my needs. Like, yes, I need money. Yes, I need a place to live. Yes, I would like to travel. Yes, it was feeding, you know, sort of the side of my needs. But the thing that I had this, like, what they call like a burning desire, that thing that I was really like, oh, how do I get that? I didn't even know that that's what I wanted, but I knew that that space was missing. That space of like burning desire to be fulfilled and that kind of thing. When I was tending to all the other things on the side and not even paying any attention to the possibility that there's something that I can try, yeah, there were definitely some days where I'd wake up and things weren't that great, and that would take me down. And when I say take me down, I would just feel, you know, unfulfilled, unmotivated, confused. Feeling confused for me was one of the toughest feelings, because when you're confused and only you can solve your problem, you want to pull your hair out. I wanted to pull my hair out. And I'll be completely honest here when I say I wanted to disappear. Yeah, it was quite, to be confused and not know who could possibly help you out of that confusion and say, here's the map to your destination. I was like, it was quite a frustrating situation. Please know it had nothing to do with Emirates per se. It was that time in my life that I was really dying for growth, and I didn't know it. The only way for me to explore that growth was to leave. Yes, it was an easy decision. Yes. What wasn't easy was overcoming every obstacle after making that decision. Because, you know, once you make the decision to leave, you got to start from scratch. That's exactly what happened. I never knew that I would have to start from scratch, but that's exactly what happened. I left Emirates because I wanted to explore growth in a different area of me. I also believe I have one life, and as much as I was comfortable in that position, I knew how it worked, and it built so much of my identity, I wasn't really willing to hold on to that one thing for dear life. I don't hold on to things out of fear. That's one thing that I know about myself. And so while there are great opportunities within Emirates, I started to learn over time that I'm the kind of person who will boldly make decisions over things that I have no idea what the outcome will be. And looking at it now, I'm very happy that that's my approach to things. If there's anything that I can say, all you gotta know is your destination. The road there, it's like, if you focus your mind on just getting there, you don't know how, you just keep doing things. You might go left, you might go right, you might go 1,000,000 kilometers in the wrong direction, but it's not the wrong direction. For me, I'm very glad right now that I left. I met a beautiful girl, Delilah, at the airport in Boracay when I was in the Philippines just now. We met, she's crew. She saw me carrying my crew bag through security and she asked me, "Are you crew?" And I said, "No, I'm not anymore. This is my crew bag from before." She came up, she said, do you have a YouTube channel?" I said, "Yes." And then we sat together the whole time that we were waiting for the plane. We were just talking about Emirates and we were talking about what I currently do now. One of the big reasons why I'm here is because of work. I opened a social media marketing agency just a couple of months ago, so I get to travel a little bit and meet a lot of people and I get to be creative. And she said to me, she goes, "Just hearing your story, it feels like you're loving your life even more now than what you did in Emirates." I don't know whether to classify that as, yes, I love my life a little bit more now, because I definitely didn't love my life when I was in Emirates. But what I will say is this: yes, I'm very happy with my life right now. I'm very happy with the direction that I've taken. You know, all that mugginess, all that murkiness in the path to my destination, it's getting clearer and clearer. I guess that's with a lot of work on my end. I really did a lot of searching, and some of you guys know I did a personal development course. It's called Landmark, the Landmark Forum, and I completed the full curriculum, and that just helped me find out the areas in my mindset that I would stop myself from growing or from being bold or from recognizing certain things about me. So I did a course like that. I was proactively searching for the answer, and I guess as a result, what I can say now is that maybe I wasn't really searching for the answer. I was creating the answer by proactively being there, showing up, talking to different people, seeing where I would find my center. I will say that for me, my purpose is definitely a lot clearer now, but it never would have been created without my experience at Emirates. Yes, while I know that I could have grown my career within Emirates and the company and continue to travel and keep having this cool lifestyle, which I still think all flight attendants have, I still really think that, oh, it's quite cool to be a flight attendant. You get to be at all different places. I do like that. I'm still glad that I left to be able to explore this option and to be here where I am now. I don't even know if I would have had a YouTube channel if I stayed in the company. So that's about it. That is the real answer for me. I know there's quite a few videos out there for why people left Emirates, and it's very true. Each person will have their own reason. I'm definitely not here to preach to anyone about what you should do about your life if you're not too sure about where you are. But what I can say out of experience is that one of the best things that I've learned is to never hold on to something because of fear. If you're ever gonna hold on to something, hold on to it for the love. Don't hold on to it for the fear that you might never have it again, that you might never find something as good as whatever you currently have. It's like saying, I've been eating vanilla ice cream all my life. I think it's the best ice cream in the whole entire world. And someone go, well, here's chocolate. Here's a chocolate flavor. And I go, nah, I'm gonna stick here because this is what I know. And all along there's chocolate and it's just as good, or if not, it might even be better. Who knows? I'll never know. I'll use that analogy as my approach to life. For those who kind of feel that frustration, like, why would someone leave such a good thing? I respect that. Maybe my decision doesn't sit well with you, but at the end of the day, if anyone's gonna live my life, it's gonna be me, right? And that's the same with everyone. So if you're in that kind of position and you're kind of like, oh, I don't really know what to do, this isn't serving me and my growth and my journey anymore at all, and everyone's telling you, hang in there, stay in there, only you know you the most. And if something's affecting you mentally, it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting your true happiness, and you can no longer find sense of fulfillment or purpose in what you're currently doing, give yourself a little bit of credit and listen to yourself. So that is it. That is why I left Emirates. If you guys have any comments or questions, I'd definitely be more than happy to answer them. You know where to do. Pop them in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. I like to say this is a safe place, and I invite you to be here on a regular basis, pop a comment below so I know that you're here. I always like to see newbies like say hello and be like, I never normally comment, but I need to say hello now. And I'm like, yes, please. Because otherwise I don't know you're there if you don't say anything. I only see numbers of subscribers. Comment below, say hello. That's it from me for now, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.